Morning, Troy.
Morning.
Benedictine Monastery.
So this is the guy who is
I'll tell you about it. Thank you. That's why I drove all the way from Tel Aviv.
Right.
So we are located at a place called Tabha. Okay? Tabha, that's in Arabic for 7. Okay? It's a disruption of the Greek name that this site was known as Eptapegon, also 7 in Greek, Epta. Okay? At the time of Christ, over here, used to have 7 floating springs, hot springs in this region over here, which made this site ideal for people to live here. 5,000 people, that's a lot at that time, okay? Men, women, children gathered here, and he preached. All day he spoke and delivered his missionary, and at the end of the day, he asked the disciples, what can we give those people to feed them, to give them something to eat? And the answer was, well, all we've got is 2 fish and 5 loaves, which is a little bit, not enough for 5,000.
But it's also 7.
So,
That's also 7.
That's 7. Exactly. That's the 7. That's why Eptapegon and talk about it. So the miracle happened. Jesus multiplied it, and they had so much food that actually there were leftovers.
Right.
So they brought 12 jars, and they put the leftover in first. Okay, we're going to go inside. By the way, the main door is that one, but it's open only when the Pope will come. And since you are not connected to him, so we'll go from this is.
This one.
The first church, the one that went straight, is down there. It's beneath the us. And this one, you can see the rocks. This is the Byzantine. Those one is modern, but this one is from the 5th century, the original. Like I said, you saw the guys there reconstructing it. But all the animals, the birds, we have more than 22 different kinds of birds. Most of them not from here, they are from Egypt. Because most of the miracles that Jesus performed were located here along the north base and the north side of the Sea of Galilee. Okay? This is a baptism site. That's a place where people were sitting being baptized. We just came from this outside courtyard. It's called atrium. The non-Christian people that wanted to go to the church were not allowed to enter. They had to be baptized before that. No, I'm not telling him. He knows what he's doing. This is the Mensa Christi. Okay, whenever you've got the Custodia della Terra Santa, it means this is a Catholic Franciscan order. Okay, I'll tell you about it later as we go to Capernaum.
This is what they call it Peter's primacy, but when Peter that he was a rock, and then on this rock, that was
Originally, in a few weeks you can go and see the church, but I just want to focus on this statue because, like I said, it is said that this was the place where Jesus and Peter gathered, and Jesus gave Peter rod stick, so you can have a new shepherd. Okay, and you can sit over here. It is also mentioned that after his resurrection, Jesus came here to the Sea of Galilee. He was standing on a rock, which this is the outside part of it, and it's also inside the church. The door over there, which connects between the two sides of the rock, again is open only when the Pope comes to visit.
Am păstrat mai multe ori. Dar ca să plece. Da. Nu știu, domnul.
Yo me dormí con la luz encendida y todo.
White rock color, white stone color, and down here, black. Just remember that. Okay. Oh, okay. Hola, can you guess in your feet? That this synagogue was brought from another place, and in one piece intact. It was moved from one place in the Galilee here and built on an ancient one. We do know that down below there is another synagogue, an ancient one, dating the 1st century, the time of Jesus. So yes, we are located at the spot, at this place where Jesus came. The synagogue was here, but it's not this one. It's the one that's located down, you see, behind the fence over there.
This is the most dangerous. So crazy, you walked right through this.
Thank you. It is. Only done. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to read very quick. There's a lot of people. There's just not a lot of new people in. No, they're here for Mass. Yep.
Oh, the 1 minute you've seen from above the Byzantine Church. So we're standing on a replica, it's not original, of the mosaic of this church that was located down over there. And in the center, in the middle, what do we have? A peacock. Why do we have a peacock? What does a peacock represent in Christianity? It represents eternal life, life forever. Peter, that's in English. What is name in Latin? How you call him in Latin? Petrus, right? In Hebrew? Shimon. Okay. In Aramaic, Kepha. And that's why Jesus chose him to replace him. Because Kepha in Aramaic is a rock, a stone. And that's what Jesus told him. Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Okay? And for that he gave him two things. He gave him the rod, which we've seen in Mensa Christi. That's what you remember, you saw the statue. And he also gave him the keys for the kingdom of heaven. Those were given to him at the other side of the lake, further north at a place called Bania, okay? Represents Jesus in the beginning of Christianity. They didn't want to use the name Jesus, so they named him. Instead they used the Greek word for a fish, ichthus, okay, which means Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. That's the meaning of the Greek word.
Yeah.
And he blessed them. That's why it's called the Beatitudes. That's in Latin, to be blessed. He blessed the widows, the poor, the orphans. Again, not the rich guys. He wasn't referring to the rich guys. When you go inside, it's an octagonal. It's got 8 walls coming to remind us those 8 Beatitudes. On the top, the ceiling is painted in gold and blue like the sky to remind us the kingdom of heaven. And as you look upstairs, you'll see the 8 Beatitudes as well. Now depicting Jesus, but that was glorifying Mussolini.
Interesting.
Top the 8 Beatitudes.
Tira pra mim, foto pra mim.
So I think he's Jewish. I believe so. I think he thinks we might be Catholic, so he feels like he needs to tell us about the saints.
Okay, any questions?
Where are we?
Oh, Nazareth.
Okay, I mean,
We are in the center of town, in front of the Basilica of the Anunciation. Most churches in the world are dedicated to Jesus. This is an exception. This church is dedicated to his mother, the Virgin Mary. Mary and Joseph lived here in Nazareth. We're going to see it later. In the old Jewish village, and even inside of the church, it is believed that this was the house of Mary. Many Spanish died from different zones.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
So over there, so those columns, you see 4 columns here, are Byzantine. It was the time of the first church that was built on the house of Mary. And the walls, I'm going to point for a second, and the walls over there, those are for the second church, the Crusader, that was built in the 12th century, on top of the debris of the Byzantine church. We're going to go down. The minute you have staircase, it's Jewish. Okay, in Roman bathhouse they didn't have staircase, they just pumped into the water, just jumped to the water. In the Jewish way, which by the way still goes today. Religious Jews still practice and they go to bathe themselves in a mikveh. So you need to imagine that it was filled with water up to this level, okay? And over here. And you have to go down step by step until you can go into the water. And then you have to immerse yourself, you have to bathe yourself, dip yourself up and down into the water, including the head, 7 times. That's the way to be purified.
Sí, y ve los pisos, o sea, ahí están. Sí, con
This is Franciscan atonement. Franciscan atonement. The cross of Jerusalem. You can see the flag here on the right. And this is the cross of Jerusalem. It was made by the Hospitallers, the Crusaders order, and it was adopted by the
from when he came in 64.
right. So you know the history better than I.
Yeah, I guess that was a big deal. Everywhere.
Yes. And it's I think that it's not, yeah. Well, I think they said you should hold it.
Is there an old church here? Is this remnants of an older church that was here?
Yes. Always a Byzantine.
طبلة شعبية. ايوه طبلة طيبة.
这个很自然。
זה נראה כמו המדבר.
זה נראה כמו החדר אוכל.
איפה המדבר?
הלבן הגדול באמצע זה החדר אוכל.
אני רואה שם משהו לבן.